So welcome, good morning, everyone. I think this is going to be a weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday batch, where I'm conducting this weekend batches particularly, where there was another batch which is parallelly happening for a weekday. That is a Monday to Friday batch, which happens at 9:30 currently. But there are many working professionals and they don't get time on regular basis to attend the regular classes with a lot of requests. So we have started this a weekend batch as well. So let's hear more about this batch, how it is going to be, what you can expect from this batch, and all those things I'm going to discuss in next few minutes. Okay, like I discussed. So first of all, I would like to share a few do's and don'ts so that it will become very easy for you to manage the rest of the sessions or whenever you wanted to follow us, how to understand what to understand. So there are a few do's and don'ts which I would like all of you to follow, which is a very common and a basic expectation, nothing much to let you know. So here, whenever we talk about do's and don'ts, right, make sure you always stay active in the class to listen to the content, what we are sharing it. And if you are engaged it actively, that will help you to understand the concept better. And obviously that will serve the purpose, why you are here. Okay. And I'll also ask you guys to share your opinion at certain cases, or I'll also ask few questions about whatever the conversation or the discussion we are doing about any particular topic. Majority of them you will be able to answer it, or I might be asking some inputs about, I might need some inputs from all of you so that we can make the class more interactive. Okay, so that I want all of you to share your inputs whenever I ask for it. Please unmute at that time and you can share your inputs. The more inputs you share it is a better. So that I'll also understand, yes, you are able to understand the concept that I'm explaining. Otherwise, it will be in a dilemma for me whether you guys are able to follow me or not. Are there any challenges? So that will become very okay. And also make sure you ask right questions and share your ideas as and when required. Okay. When you ask more questions about wherever you have a confusion, you are not clear about it, I'm happy to answer it. But like I mentioned, make sure you raise your hand and wait until end of the session so that it will help you to manage it, uh, to to answer us better. Just a sec. Hey, sorry. Okay. There were some other participants, they had a trouble joining in, so we're just calling it now. Fine. So like I mentioned, so make sure you ask the right questions. Don't worry whether it is a small doubt or crazy doubt, whatever it may be, because you are here to learn something that we don't know, right? With that intent, you need to forget everything, irrespective what is the other participants' experience, whoever it may be, the other participants, what do they think? Forget about all those things. Ask all the questions that you have it until you become comfortable about FICO concepts. Okay. So you need to be clear about what you are going to work. You need to be clear about the concept that we are discussing on that particular day. If you are not clear about it, later in a project, it will become difficult for you to manage it. For that reason, I would recommend you to ask the right questions or as many questions as possible. Of course, without you ask, I will also share more information so that your questions also will be reduced. But still, there might be a particular still unanswered questions in your mind. Still, you might think that what if this happens? What if I want to try something like this, right? There are multiple scenarios, multiple situations where we might need that clarity. But still, that is okay. We'll answer all of them, like I mentioned. make sure you reserve your questions. Try to keep it until end of the session so that I can easily answer all your questions if I couldn't cover that during our session. Okay. So now with that, I have a few don'ts as well in the class to manage it for a better. So I would recommend you to follow a few don'ts as well, which will help me to manage the class better. What are the few don'ts that I want all of you to follow is, so 1 second, I think I have to switch my screen share. I don't know whether you guys can see that. Okay. So try to avoid any distractions. Don't try to have your attend in your mobile phones, right? If you try to attend in a mobile phones, what happens? Nowadays, it's a very quite common that we might get a lot of messages through all social media platforms and also some calls. There might be some genuine, important and urgent calls. I agree on that. There might be some spam calls, marketing calls, all of them you receive it. If you are attending from a mobile phone, majority of your time goes attending them or disconnecting. Okay. What I would recommend is keep your phones away and try to use a laptop or a desktop, any other tabs where you do not use a SIM card or any other social media in that devices until you complete the class. Okay. So that you can focus on the class. Whenever there is a more distractions, you might miss the concept. Unnecessarily, you need to uh, revise the topic once again through the video or any other form. Okay. So which will help you to understand the concept at the first. And I would say don't interrupt others during the session through the chat or any other means. Keep yourself more calm and focus on the class. Don't disturb others. If you need any help, I'm going to share various platforms and various options how you can interact with all the members. So don't worry about on that. You are all going to meet with each other. I mean, virtually, and we'll make a group. And in the group, you can discuss anything that you wanted to talk to with other members only after the classes. Okay. During the class, don't interrupt with anyone. Okay. That's the main request I just wanted to tell you. And try to avoid any multitasking during listening to the class. Don't try to do any other activities, right? So we might feel that, yes, I'm a multitasking guy, I can manage it. But yes, you might be able to manage it. But at the end, you might miss a finer details about it. This course is not just about learning how to do the configurations. It's more beyond that, which you need to understand. Each and every word that I'm going to talk is going to be valuable. Okay, where you will appreciate later. You never heard about this, though in case you attended some sessions earlier. Okay, so you can see that in upcoming session, whenever I'm talking it, each and every word I carefully use it. So each and every word matters for you to understand it better. And in projects also, you need to be aware about those concepts and it should be in a position to manage it. Okay. And whenever you are not talking and once you're done with asking question, I would recommend you to close your mics, which means mute yourself so that we will avoid any unnecessary noises, which means whenever you are referring to the class recording later, it will have a lot of disturbance, which will unnecessarily create a distractions. People will not be able to understand it. Like you hear my voice now, it should be very crystal clear. And if there is no background noises from your side as well, I would appreciate. So whenever whoever has that background noises, keep your lines in mute unless you have any questions. Okay. During the question session, maybe you can unmute and talk and quickly mute it so that we can keep the class very clean and the recording also looks very clean for you all. Okay. That's a one do's and don'ts request. I just wanted to let you all. Okay. With that, so we'll proceed further what I wanted to tell you. Hope all of you might have seen invitation messages or the registration, final confirmation and everything with the name of KNR Ignite Solutions. Yes, you are going to receive all the official communication from KNR Ignite Solutions, the same mobile number that you see here. And this is the email ID that you can expect any communication. These are the only two official communication number and email ID that I'm using currently. If there is any changes in that, I'll communicate. In case you see anyone else saying that they are also from KNR Ignite Solutions, be careful and be watchful on that. Okay. In case of anybody asking for a money or somebody says that we are providing a material or whatever it may be the reason, I would request you all to pay attention on that. Okay. Yes. We at KNR Ignite Solutions has successfully delivered multiple batches in FICO, SD, MM, and ABAP modules. Okay. So if you look into it, I have a team of consultants who are working in a real time. Those who are also a certified SAP certified trainers. When we say certification, we'll talk about the certification details also in upcoming sessions. Our trainers are certified, and also they are working with the top MNCs, including we have consultants, our trainers from big fours like a PwC, KPMG, Deloitte. Okay. So you see that the other trainers in other batches whoever is taking it. Okay. So our motive is to provide a quality trainings. Some of you might already attended trainings elsewhere, but you will see the difference what exactly you attended earlier versus what you are going to hear here. Okay, so that you never regret for enrolling with us. Okay, that's the main purpose that we are providing the quality of courses. Okay, I can proudly say this because most of our students, whenever I interacted with them and asked them about the feedback, and they proudly said that once they complete the training, they clearly mentioned that they got more than what they paid it, right? You can understand what I'm saying. So when the people are saying proudly that they got what more than what they are paying it, so I feel more happy that yes, at least they are not regretting for enrolling with us and they are able to manage it. With that, I can see a people after completing the course who are putting the genuine efforts and very serious about this to take their career into the next level. They are making their career very easily. They are getting into the jobs very easily. You will not feel any struggle to crack any interviews. Okay. So that's what you will also feel, that cracking interview is not a big matter. Okay. I'll also share what other students said about this. Maybe you can also see that. You will also get that chance to interact with them personally. And you can also talk to them and see their suggestions, and you can talk to them. I'll share the link with the testimonials, or you guys, some of you might have already received through the email or in the WhatsApp messages earlier. But I can share one more time after this session, all the content that we are talking, including all the links. Okay. So and also let's understand why should you choose KNR Ignite Solutions for your SAP trainings, right? We help participants to understand from basics to advanced. We start with a very basic, which is like whatever you require. Let's say if I pick up with a FICO module, we start with whatever is pre-requirement is required. We'll also cover those basic things, and then we'll jump on to a basic SAP concepts. Then we'll get into SAP advanced concepts, so that it will become by end of the sessions or end of the entire training program, you feel more confident. Yes, now I can manage it. Okay. During these sessions, what we'll do, we'll also provide including the project related stuff, where in that project related stuff, we'll also cover the practical and easy way for you to manage it. Okay. You will understand the concept in a easier manner for anybody to understand easily. We'll bring such examples. We'll also tailor the content to help you all understand. That's the main reason I was asking you guys to ask as many questions as possible. If you understand it, we are happy. If you don't understand, put your question so that I'll understand my participants, and will also, based on the questions that I'm receiving it, I'll tailor the next class so that all of you can easily understand in the first go. Okay. So also what we will do in each and every session, we are going to provide assignments. Majority of the classes you will get small assignments, which you also call it as a mini projects. Once I'm done with the class, to judge where you are standing it, I'll ask you to complete that project. If you are able to complete that project, what happens? Then I'll understand, yes, you got that concept or the topic that we discussed on that day. If you're not able to understand what happens, it will be difficult for you also to understand further sessions. And whenever you get into projects, it will be difficult for you to manage. With that intent, I would say, make sure you complete our daily projects, whatever I'm giving it, which will help you to catch up with the speed that we are going. Irrespective, in case you missed 1 or 2 classes, make sure you cover them before we jump into the next week sessions. At least you should have a less than 1 or 2 days of backlog. If you have a 1 week of backlog, I would say it will become difficult for you to understand upcoming sessions because though we go very slow manner, so there will be some topics which we discussed already in a prior sessions where we will be going with a continuation of that topic in the next classes. If you don't cover the previous ones, what happens? You feel like you are missing something. You don't know what it is exactly. Okay. For that reason, I would recommend you to, though you are busy with certain personal stuff or some important things, and couldn't attend the live class, suddenly you will get a recorded session of that same session in the same day within next couple of hours once the class ends. Let's say the class is at 9 to 10. By after 10 o'clock, allow us max by 2 hours. By 12 o'clock, you can see the recording in your inbox. Okay. So that you can refer within next 22 hours, right? Within 24 hours is what next class begins. You will have at least 20 hours in your hand so that you can refer. That's what my promise whenever it comes to the classes, how we conduct. My request again on the same thing is make sure you never miss any assignments. Assignments that you are missing it, which is a very critical. Later it will become difficult for you to manage it. If you don't show me the assignment, that is still okay, but at least make sure you understand the concept. Yes, I can manage it. I'm able to do that. Okay. That confidence you need to build it day by day. Whenever you struck with your assignment as well, feel free to talk to me or to talk to any other trainers. They will help you to complete that assignment in case you have any confusion. If you haven't attended the class and try to complete the assignment, then that may be not possible. In that case, please don't disturb asking questions without referring to the session. Okay. So like I mentioned, you can expect a mini projects during the course and also the final project to evaluate your understanding. Final project, once we're done with the course and you just before you appear for interviews, right? Or before we prepare your resumes and everything, I'll assign a final project to you where you need to complete that entire project on your own. Maybe you refer whatever the content that you wanted to refer, our classes, online content and everything. You should be able to complete one end-to-end project and one end-to-end project. The way and the instructions will be given, how to complete, what to cover, everything will be given to you. If you are able to complete the project, which will give you more confidence in any interview, you can easily clear the interviews as well because the whatever the final project that you are covering will serve you as a preparation for your interview as well. It is not additional thing. No, you are not wasting any time. You are simply preparing for your interviews. That's called a final project. I'll tailor the content such a way that you no need to put extra effort for your interview separately. If you are able to complete the final project, you are getting ready for your interviews. That's the way and the level we go and help you with that. Okay. Those who follow instructions and uh, will be able to complete this project, then not only crack the interviews, right? It's not only the preparation of interviews, and you can also easily lead the projects. That's the main intention that we are helping candidates to complete all the projects. Okay. So make sure you complete the project and which will help you to gain more confidence and you can easily handle the projects and any interviews as well. And once you're done with that, and during the entire batch, what we will also do, we will also help you prepare you market ready, not just with the course, right? Along with the course, what we provide, you also get interview grooming sessions where we can help you how to prepare your resume as per recruiter's expectation. Though there are a lot of resume services available, you might be opting for it, but make sure you are taking a help in case you are not sure about it so that we can help you prepare your resume as per market expectation or recruiter expectation so that you never miss interview calls. You might see a lot of times you upload a resume, your friend might be getting a call, you are not getting a call. Or you got last week calls, but this week you are not getting calls. The same resume you cannot use again and again. In my previous sessions, I clearly said this to the students, but I'll repeat this here as well. So make sure we are changing our resume according to what you wanted to change, right? Otherwise, it will become difficult for you to expect a calls if you are not updating your resume regularly. What to update, how to update, we are going to cover all of them. You don't need to worry about it, so that I can help you very clearly. Okay. So now let's and take this help whenever you are ready for the market or whenever you're done with the course, right? So you will be given an opportunity where you can see resume preparation happening. And also along with the resume preparation, I will also offer mock interviews. So in a mock interviews, what happens? We will take a mock interview to understand where you are standing, how much you understood, and where your problem areas for you to crack the interview and also to manage the project. Those areas I'll identify and I'll share you the feedback so that you will not struggle whenever you attend for the next interview, or somebody who is already working in your next project, it will become very easy. Maybe in SAP projects, it's a very quite common that our project can last anywhere from 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, depending on type of project. Let's say if you are in one of the rollout project, it might be there for 1 or 2 years. If you are in end-to-end implementation, it might be a long project. If you are in a support project, that is also a long-term project, but still there will be a certain roles where we need to switch from one project to other project at certain cases because uh, the project contract is ending or our role is coming to an end. In SAP project, what happens once you join as a consultant, switching between project to project. Within the same company, you might serve for a 10 years or a 20 years. There might be a chance that you need to switch between projects. If everything goes fine and if there is a long-term requirement, you can stick to the same project as well for a long term as well. But wherever there is a requirement, your management asks you, we need your skill set in other project, you might need to switch between one client to other client, that is one project to other project. So anybody who is working as a consultant as well, you can see that your knowledge level will get saturated because you don't put sufficient time to upgrade yourself, and your knowledge will not get upgraded from there on. Whenever you are trying to give interview to the next client, certain people will fail it. That's where we see a lot of challenges. People are still refreshing their subject. Once again, they enroll for it. What I would recommend is once you're done with the course, keep your subject current always. To keep you current, I'm going to share more tips how to keep it current so that you don't need to attend the course again with anybody later. Okay. There are many, maybe those who are working as a consultants, you can relate this, what I'm saying it, right? Whenever you are trying to switch to the project from one project to other project, what are you lacking it? What should I have been done to cover that, right? Easily to crack that your client interviews. All those things we'll discuss, which is going to be helpful for you to make yourself a perfect consultant. Okay. So take the mock interviews and take the feedback to work out on your, once I share the feedback, work out on it, whatever your gaps or the something that you are not aware, and to make it more better, enhance yourself so that you can see a better version of yourself before you give next interview or before you jump to the next project. So our trainers are not just consultants, they are also the interview panel members. They are specialized in taking interviews and give you the right feedback. I'm sure that you are going to benefit from that. Okay. And with that, once you're done with that, not just that course is ended, you are going to try all alone. You are going to get an opportunity to be part of our SAP community where we have close to 600 plus members. I don't say all of them are consultants, but the majority of them are consultants across the globe. And some of them are students who just completed course from us or from different trainers. And in this platform, you can expect a support from other fellow consultants or the fellow students who are practicing similar to you. You can find your buddy who matches your mindset or something like what you are looking for it. You find your own buddy from that community and discuss every day about the topic, whatever we discussed or whatever you are practicing it. Have that regular connect with your buddy or frame a group 4 to 5 people or 10 people, or regularly you discuss some topic so that it will help you not to forget the topic and also explore more about the same topic. Okay. So that network support is what you are going to get. Some of you might be already there in that SAP Learning Hub community. Otherwise, I'll share the invite with all of you so that you can be part of this. And also, what we will do during our sessions, we will also invite our students who ever successfully joined in other roles as a SAP consultants with any company, right? Wherever they got an offer, I'm going to invite them to share their experience so that you can hear what are the challenges they faced during the transition of it. Somebody who worked as an accountant earlier, somebody who worked as a teacher earlier, somebody who worked in different uh, nature of work completely. They never worked in IT. They don't know what is corporate, but still they became a SAP consultants. I'll invite all our students, whoever completed a course and whoever joined as consultants, they are going to share their knowledge and their experiences both. You can hear directly from them. Whenever we get a chance, I'll invite them. Here and then we can hear from them as well. We'll invite all our alumni to talk about their experiences. Okay. So now I just wanted to quickly understand from this forum, maybe if I possible, I'll try to launch a quick poll as well. Maybe help me understand about yours, yourself, where you are standing, right? Let's say I just wanted to ask you all, how many of you are attending this training for the first time? Say, maybe you can take a quick seconds. I'll just enter yes and no choices for you. If you are attending for the first time, say yes. If not, maybe say no, so that I'll understand you guys. 1 second, there is this. I'm just trying. Okay, I see all of you are already started sending in a chat. Thank you so much. Okay, I just launched a poll on the screen so that all of you can quickly submit your responses, which will become more easy. It won't take much time. Quickly, you can submit it so that I can see. Still, there are three more people to submit. Okay. I think only 9 people submitted responses, but still okay. Thank you so much for submitting. I see nine people submitted this poll, out of which 6 people says that they are attending for the first time, and 3 people has already attended training elsewhere. See, there are people who are taking training again. It is not just that they don't know the subject, right? So these are the topics where you see we might be missing, or there is something that I don't know what I supposed to know, right? There are a lot of things that we need to understand, which will help you for you to revise as well. Now, I just wanted to know as a follow-up to see that, 1 second, I'm just making it easy for you to answer it. So there is another question similar to that. You just need to choose your right answers here. Quickly help me to choose your answers. I'm just launching a poll to understand how many of you from this forum is currently working as a consultant. It can be any consultant. Okay, please submit your quick poll. That will help me. Don't take too much of time. I think 66% submitted, 75. Okay, we are over 30 seconds. Let's don't take much of time. Once it launched on your screen, please submit quickly. Okay, again, we have 9 participants who submitted this. And I see 3 people says again, there are working consultants from this, and 6 people are not working as a consultant. But still, I'm sure you come from various experiences, right? So now let's say that quickly, you can also see the results that I'm sharing it here. So, okay. So you see, people can understand, and people can also share the feedback about how the session is happening, how the knowledge is shared. You will understand by end of this session. Okay, I just wanted to know one last question from all of you, whether in case you guys has any kind of finance and accounting background, in case of commerce background, whether you are a student or you studied this finance and accounting in any of your curriculum, or have you worked as a any FNA roles earlier? That's what I just wanted to know. Let's say that, for example, okay, where is this? Okay, okay, I just launched this question. In case you are working or worked in any form of finance and accounting roles, say yes. If you don't know anything about finance and accounting, you never studied or you don't know anything about it completely, you are from a different background, you are working in a different roles, only then choose. I just wanted to see how many of you are from FNA background board. Okay. Thank you again. I see a quick 9 responses. I think with that, I'll stop the poll. I don't want to waste much of time so that you can also see. Except 2 people, all other 7 people who out of 9 people who responded in this poll says they have accounting or a commerce academic backgrounds or worked in finance and accounting roles. Okay, which is one of the pre-requirement for us to learn SAP FICO course. Otherwise, it happens, it will be difficult for you to understand it. Okay, that's the main reason I'm asking whether all of you are from finance and accounting background or not. Okay, now without further delay, we'll continue and see that what exactly we need to understand here is. So just allow me a sec. I wanted to bring something for all of your reference. Yes, yes. Sorry, just bear with me a second. I will not take much of your time. Able to change the screen sharing. Okay, so I'll quickly change my screen sharing that I wanted to share. Okay, let's say that. So all of us are here to learn SAP FICO course. First thing, so there are some pre-requirements like I mentioned. If you are somebody who comes from academically or professionally from a finance background, that is going to be helpful for you to start learning it. Otherwise, what if there are 2 people who said they don't have a finance and accounting background, either academically or working wise, right? Now, can I learn or not? Yes, you can learn it, but only thing is you should be passionate about learning the basic concepts about finance and accounting. If you're not aware about basic concepts about finance and accounting or not willing to learn, then it will become difficult for you to understand further topics, which is required. The core thing for us to learn SAP FICO is finance and accounting. Without having finance and accounting knowledge, it is impossible for us to learn FICO because SAP might be a software or ERP system, but doesn't mean that it is going to do a wonders. It is all exist because of there is a core concept called finance and accounting. So to make accountants work easy, there is a software. Software will make your work easy. That's it. Doesn't mean that it will take care of everything on its own. But we need to make sure we understand it, what I wanted to do it. In case if I wanted to drive automatic car, I should know what exactly the clutch means, what exactly the gear means, what exactly the brake and everything. I should know the difference between manual and automatic car. When you know manual car to drive, you can easily manage automatic car, right? Straight away, if you learn automatic car, if I give you manual car, mostly it will become difficult for you for the first time to manage it because you never worked on a clutch. I hope people who drive some vehicles like a two-wheeler, four-wheeler can relate this example. Similarly, without understanding the background or the basics of accounting, if I want to learn SAP, yes, you can learn it, but it is like it sits in your mind like a driving automatic car. Whenever you actually wanted to work as a consultant, it is like a driving manual car. Make sure you know how to drive a manual car, right? Which means you should know the basics. What is ABC in a car? Same way, we need to know some ABC or basic concepts in finance and accounting as well to start learning SAP FICO. Otherwise, always you see that challenges. Whatever the challenges you face in a manual car versus automatic car, right? When you know only automatic car, not manual car, if whenever you wanted to switch to this car, the similar challenges or similarly you find a lot of challenges to manage it. For that reason, I would recommend you all to focus on a basic things first. Whenever we start our classes, it takes for you to start the configuration minimum 1.5 months. Until then, we'll be covering all those basics. We may not go deep about the basics, but we'll touch base what you're supposed to learn. I'll also give you the close. I don't want to bore the people who comes from finance and accounting, but still we'll cover in a different angle what you're supposed to know as a consultant. Those who are from a non-finance and accounting backgrounds, you need to focus and spend little additional time to catch up with the class speed that we are doing it because you don't have that experience or that knowledge so far. In case you decided to continue here, yes, you can do it, but only condition is make sure you gain that basic terminologies knowledge about finance and accounting, which is a very much important. Okay, then that's a academically or experience wise whatever we require it, and the hardware wise there is a small requirement which is very genuine and valid for all of us. You need to practice SAP whenever we teach it, right? Whenever we complete the class, you need to make sure you practice it so that you are aware about, right? What to practice, how to practice, all that we will teach. For you to practice, you need to have a laptop or desktop. Nowadays, I would prefer most of you might have a laptops, but go with a laptop if there is an option for you. Otherwise, manage with a desktop without any power interruption. If you have no power cuts, because the desktop may not have a power backup. So where if you are in mid of something, you might get a little challenge to come back, right? In case you have a power backup, you can go with a mode. For that, I would recommend a laptop or a desktop with Windows version is the best one to go with very easily. In case somebody who's using a MacBook, yes, you can also use a MacBook. There is no restriction on that. Either you can use a Windows or a MacBook. But MacBook users, first time you need to put some additional effort to manage with SAP installation. Okay. Otherwise, rest everything you will not find any problem. Okay. And then what you need to see, the next thing, once you have your laptops or desktop is ready, your system is ready. This system, hardware wise, you no need to have super high configuration. It's a very simple configuration you need. If you have a 8 GB RAM and 250 GB hard disk, which is a very quiet and common nowadays in all the computers or the laptops, you can easily get that. This configuration is more than enough. If you have a i5 processor, which is a well and good, otherwise i3 is also good. You just need to make sure you have i3 processor, 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM. You don't need to worry much about 16 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB RAM, which is a more than enough, which you can easily manage it with a 250 GB hard disk, which is very much sufficient. Nothing beyond that. Okay. If you have a more than that, still you are good. Otherwise, minimum, if you have meet this requirement, you can practice without any interruptions or no slowness and everything. And the next thing you need to make sure you need to install SAP GUI, where I'll also share a video or the link with you all so that you can install the latest version of SAP in your machines. Once you install, I can also guide you how to log into SAP system. One of the basic requirement in our project as well, whenever you join any project, don't expect that IT team will help you to install all these things. Those who worked in a various roles so far, you might got used to whenever you need any help, always you call your help desk or you ask your IT guy to help it. Here also you can expect that, but that looks like people will judge you. You don't have any experience. For that reason, you try yourself in your own laptops how to install SAP and practice that, how to install it if you are aware about it. The same thing you are going to do it there. In case if that requires any admin rights to install in your office laptop, you don't need to worry. They always your IT team can help you on that. If they say that without IT help you can do it, you should know how to do it. For that reason, I just made already a video. We don't need to waste our time in a classes, but I can show you in upcoming classes at a high level what to do. You can refer to that video and install that version readily available, and you can test and see your system is ready so that you can peacefully start your classes. Okay. So, and let's understand a little bit about what exactly SAP FICO now. Now there are some consultants as well in this class, what we have seen already. Now let's see, they'll also share their experience and what is the meaning of it. I would say other than working consultants, the first time people, whoever is learning this course, I would recommend you to start answering first so that always I would recommend other people to answer later. Okay. So what is your understanding about SAP FICO? What comes to your mind when we talk about SAP FICO? What is it exactly? What is it? Why FICO? Why business needs this? Maybe if you can answer that, that will also suffice. What is it, FICO? Anyone? That's okay. Whatever you feel like to record transactions. Okay. To record transactions of business. Yes. Okay. Are you hearing, how many of you are hearing SAP FICO for the first time? Or how many for the first time you are hearing? Maybe say first time. You can send that in a chart first time. Okay, reporting purposes, ERP to meet organization requirements. Say ERP software to make easy for account. Okay. Working an end user on SAP. Okay. Okay, fine. Maybe let's answer this way, Jitendra. I'll ask you straight away. So you are working as an end user, for example, what kind of role you are working? What kind of team that you are? R2R. Okay, fine. So R2R, what exactly month-end closing reportings you do it? Okay. So there's somebody working as accounts receivable. Okay, to manage the organization financial status. Very good. I see very valid answers. Very good. Thanks for sharing it. Let's see that. Let's understand a little bit more about it. Journal entries, balance sheet, trial balance. Thanks for sharing all your inputs. Yeah. So whenever we talk about SAP FICO, this term FICO, I'm not calling it as a FICO or a FICO. I'm calling it as a FICO particularly because it's an abbreviation. It has a meaning of FI separately and CO separately. Okay. FI is all about financial accounting. Financial accounting. What is financial accounting? Again, this itself contains two things, finance and accounting. FI is all about finance plus accounting. CO is all about your controlling. We'll talk more about in deep about both the things. What is FI, what is CO in upcoming sessions. To give you at a high level in one word or a one line answer, what is FI? Financial accounting, whatever we are dealing with, a company, whoever dealing with any financial transactions. Let's say I'm spending some money or I'm receiving some money. I pay something to my vendors. I buy something from various people, or I pay salary to my employees, or I pay some rent to my vendors or my landlords, or I pay tax to the government. all the money going out is my finance going out, right? Similarly, I'll also have a money receiving inside. We'll talk or I'll convert all this into your proper accounting terminologies later. I don't want to confuse you with the initial class. So I'm using in a very layman terms. Otherwise, we'll go with proper financial jargon later. Now, whenever I deal with any financial transactions, receiving money or paying money, this is core my financial matters, right? Whenever there is a money involved, I wanted to record all these transactions and I wanted to see final summary of it, the reporting. I wanted to see how did I perform for an entire period, maybe for a 1 month, for a 3 months, 6 months, or a 1 year period. I wanted to know, when I say I, business wanted to know, or the business owners wanted to know, right? Yes, to control the business by recording the transactions and controlling all the departments. Thanks, Arvind. Yeah. So FI is external reporting purposes. Perfectly. Yes. So FI is all about external reporting purposes. We'll understand a very deep about this. What exactly external reporting purpose? Again, I will tell you in one word. What is external reporting purpose? Whenever you wanted to communicate about your company's progress, what you have done in 1 year in terms of finances, how well you did it, what was your beginning assets, what is your closing assets as on today, what were your liabilities when you started business, what is liabilities today. Anybody to understand your business, how well you are progressing, what is your growth, they would be interested to know your financials. We always call this as a financials. So all of us might heard about financial results where companies publish their financial results, right? Quarterly results, half-yearly results, yearly results. Whatever the company that you are working at, if it is a public limited company or a private limited company, the majority, all the registered companies will issue their financial statements. If there is anybody who is a chartered accountant here, anyone here, like I see while registering, I see somebody who is the chartered accountant. Anybody here? Chartered accountants or anybody from audit background? All right. So we'll see that. Yes. Yeah, Prabhu comes from audit experience. Okay. So you guys, Arvind also comes from bit of audit and financial reports experience. Right. We see that you can understand how exactly we prepare financial statement. What is the main purpose of preparing financial statements, right? So financial statements are prepared to publish this for external users. Who is external user? Anybody outside of your company. Whoever is involved in your company, those are internal people. Other than internal people, everybody is external. Like the first external people is, okay, rather than I say maybe all of you, most of you are from accounting background. Let me ask you this way. Who do you call an external parties here? Who is external parties? Can you just type it, or if you guys wanted to unmute and talk, I'm still happy for it. Shareholders, creditors, government, right? Creditors, yes. Shareholders, yes, that is already there. Government authorities, banks. Let's understand why all these external parties are interested. Why do they want it to know? Yes, government authorities. Why are they interested in my company? Let's say I'm a KNR Ignite Solutions. KNR Ignite Solutions is doing a business since last few years. Why does all these external parties are interested? The shareholders or the stockholders, yes. To know if it is depicts a correct financial position, yes. Okay, what else? Let me start with this to avoid any fraud like Satyam. Yes, there are a lot of frauds. Satyam is a very old story. The very recent story also we have seen. Yeah, there are a lot of companies we have seen that the big frauds which they have done. You guys might have heard about. Hope all of you are comfortable understanding Big Fours. What is Big Fours? I think beginning of the session I already named. What are the Big Four names? Anybody recollect? KPMG, Deloitte, EY, PwC. Anybody heard about the Big Five? Big Five, the fifth name, POT. Okay. Is the POT is the currently in audit? Are they doing any audits now? Okay. So nowadays we are calling big fours only four companies. Yes, audit and SAP implementation as well, the POT. Okay. So big five, what I'm talking about, this big five was the company who was in fact the number one. Out of big five, they were the number one ranked throughout the world as audit firms. Now they are no longer doing that business. Only reason is yes, Sir Arthur Anderson, the great Enron scandal that they have done, one of the biggest firms which we had is no longer there because they involved in these scams or a fraud. Those things, people when they prepare financial statements, they use certain loopholes to depict incorrect picture or to present themselves they are doing great job, right? So those frauds cannot sustain for longer. They can uncover very easily or very short, and it led that world number one company to shut down. Okay, one of the biggest company. Maybe later you guys can research about it. I don't want to waste our time here with spending too much of time about the financial classes here, so or the audit classes. But you can always go back and refer to Arthur companies details where you will get to know what was their position, how this has been shut down. Okay. Now it all about whenever we wanted to publish financial statements, the first people is more interested is investors. Whoever is invested in us, let's say in KNR Ignite Solutions, there are many companies who are investing or many individual people who are investing money. They have taken as shares. We call them as the shareholders, people who are investing on it. They would be more interested to see how genuinely I'm doing my business, whether I am growing or not. If I'm not growing, what happens? They might not be comfortable in investing further. Let's say somebody who invested 10% in my company, somebody who holds a 10% of stake or 1% of stake, still they might be interested. If I grow next year, they will also be interested to increase their capital. Let's say next year they will increase their stake. They will purchase more shares next year. If I'm not really doing good job as per their expectation, they might reduce their uh, stock or their percentage of ownership they are holding it, right? Now, the investors is the first people who would be interested to know about the companies, how well they are doing it. For them, what is the base? They look into the financial statements. Of course, they will also watch out in the news how the company is doing, all the activities they will also watch. And they will see the financial statements and refer, and they will also compare comparative financial statements. Hope you guys can understand this. Comparative financial statements, we compare with previous period. Or you might also publish this for last 5 years and 10 years of data so that your investors can compare the trend. How am I progressing? How am I performing? Whether I am really progressing or not, they can judge with the numbers, right? There are financial analysts who will also do the financial analysis of the companies and publish their opinion about it. And also they will also project the future growth about the companies by looking into the trend, how they are doing it. Of course, their company strategy is also important. What is their strategy for the next 5 years or 10 years for the long-term strategy? Based on that, people will analyze and publish their opinions. People can understand about the company's progress overall and can see how exactly it is happening, what exactly they are doing. Now, external financial reportings are important for investors to know about companies' current financial position and also overall growth that they are doing it. Consistency growth is there or not, they will check. If there is no consistent growth, people may not be comfortable in investing in that company. Now, if you consider any company, the listed companies, any company you take it either a Tata or Ambani's or you take it Adani's, right? Reliance company or any company, it's not 100% of their own capital, right? They also invite public stock or a public capital where many people can invest. You also can invest in that company. So for them, it is also difficult for anybody to put their own capital 100% if they want to grow. If I want to grow, I have to expand. I need to invite more people to invest and take the stake. Only then they will be able to expand it. If I want to expand, for example, my organization, I need to invite more people. If I want to invite more people, people has to trust on my work. They have to trust on my overall activities that I'm doing it. I should be genuine. I should be uh, ethical, right? All the things should be followed. My financial statements nowadays, along with the financial statements, there is something called ESG reports. Also, the people are submitting it, where they will talk about beyond financial statements. They will. We no need to get into that stuff right now, but we can talk about that later as and when required. Companies will prepare all the financial statements, which includes what are the basic external financial statements that companies will publish, which is a very important thing for us to know as a consultant. Tomorrow, we are going to look into these financial statements in the system on our own. We are going to prepare, we help our clients to prepare this financial statement. What are the financial statements that we prepare generally as an accountant? Forget about a consultant for a while. As an accountant, what is the financial statements that we need? On a month end, year end, mandatorily we need to prepare certain statements. Balance sheet, P&L, notes, yes. Anything else also we prepare as an accountant general along with these two. TB, yes, trial balance, cash flows, perfect. If I want to see this, these are the minimum 4 requirement, right? Start with your trial balance, profit and loss account, your balance sheet, then your cash flow statement. This is the minimum 4 requirement that you need to prepare it. Out of 4, can I publish externally to my all the external everything? Can I publish all 4 to external users? Is there any restriction that I cannot publish all 4 of them or any of them? How many of you say, yes, we can publish all 4? Say yes. Or say 4. You just enter 4 if you agree 4. Yes, Jitendra says 4 we can submit. Okay. Vidishaya says 4 we can submit. Okay. That's okay. Don't worry whether you are saying right or wrong. Don't worry. You just need to have your understanding so far, whatever you feel that. Okay. So now take this as a small assignment after the class. Pick up any company of your choice, go to their website and search for a financial statement. Or simply put this line in a Google, ask for a financial statements of ABC company or XYZ company. That will give you financial statements of your choice. That company is supposed to be registered with your respective stock companies, right? If it is in India, it has to be registered in your Sensex or BSE and NSS. Only then you can see their financial statements open to the public. Now, out of 4, a slight correction, what we need to know, maybe you can also check this in your financial statements whenever you go there. Maybe not the sample or the general Google information I'm talking about, official information, whenever you get into any website, you will not see a trial balance of it. None of the companies will publish their trial balance. They can publish profit and loss account, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. These 3 things you can fetch it, but you cannot fetch trial balance of any company. But still, as a consultant, we are responsible to help business to bring trial balance as well for them to reconcile overall. Okay. So one thing to quickly move forward, trial balance is not available publicly. Okay. Now these are, though it is an external financial reporting that we talk about, it is prepared for an internal purpose only to prepare external reports. To prepare external report, I have to have this internal report, the one report which will help me so that I can prepare my financial statements. Otherwise, I cannot finalize my financial statements. That's a minimum requirement the companies will do. In FI, we are talking about what exactly FI to prepare external financial statements. where stakeholders, banks to lend you more money. Can I lend it or not? They also wanted to see government authorities to compare and see this guy is making a lot of money but never paid a tax. KNR Ignite Solutions making money but they never paid a tax. Now they will check that. How am I doing it? If I'm registered, they will also check my financial statements and see, they will send a notice. Hey, we observed this so and so. Later, if I don't pay a tax, there might be a riot, right? That's how government also watch out for financial statements of the companies of how much tax I'm paying versus what activities I'm doing it. If I say that I'm expanding, if I compare my assets in 2020 versus 2025, in last 5 years, my assets has drastically increasing, which means I'm growing it. When I'm growing, which means I'm not simply investing, right? Also, I should make some money. When I look into my cash flow statement, it will also tell me how much money I'm making it. When I look into my P&L account, it will also tell me what is the total profit that I'm making it. From there, government authorities also can calculate and see, are they genuinely paying taxes or not, what they're supposed to pay. If all their financial statements are genuine, the tax amount can be easily calculated. If they are manipulating, that's a different story. But now government also will watch out how much tax I'm paying or not. Government is also interested to see that. Government authorities, we spoke about this, government authorities, investors, banks, all these people, whoever is interested, they will check all this particularly to know whether it is how I'm doing it. That's a major purpose why we use financial reportings. All these financial reportings that we are preparing, irrespective of SAP, whether SAP you are using or not using, still you need to prepare financial statements. Now the requirement for the companies also after implementing SAP, you should be able to fetch all these financial statements without fail. Now, why should they invest so much money on SAP to implement in their company? To make it faster, to make it easy for their accountants. That's the only thing they are looking at. Kind of automation. Earlier, I was doing all this manually. I was preparing, let's think about there is no ERP so far. I was preparing on a books. I need to write all the journal entries every day. I need to consolidate. It is taking a very long time for that. Otherwise, it is very difficult for our accountants to finalize all the statements on time. It takes a very long time for them to finalize it. To save the time, to make it faster close, I am bringing all the tools. Out of that, one of the tool is our SAP. SAP is one of the ERP system. What is ERP? Enterprise Resource Planning. What is resource planning? So we'll talk about that resource planning altogether, which is a little lengthier topic for us to understand. We'll talk about SAP and SAP evaluation as well, when SAP started, how it is started. Currently, we are talking about, if you look into here, I'm talking about S4HANA. What is S4HANA? Which is the latest version where all the organizations are interested or implementing it. So prior to S4HANA or currently, what is the other version is available parallelly? ECC. Okay. So this enterprise central component, which is coming to an end, SAP announced that by 2031, they are going to shut down all the support for ECC version. Officially, they are not going to give any support. If somebody, whoever is using it, they have to manage on their own. That is highly difficult for anybody to manage on their own without SAP support. So all the companies who are using SAP ECC now will slowly migrate to S4HANA very soon. With that, what you can see, you will see a lot of jobs now in S4HANA going forward. Whenever whoever is applying for a job, those who are working as a consultant, you can also relate. Those who already given interviews, you can also support me on answering this. How many are expecting S4HANA experience? Have you guys seen this in your interviews or whenever you are applying for it? They are asking for S4HANA experience. Yes. Right? So without S4HANA experience, mostly your profiles will be rejected. If you say that you know ECC, you've been working in ECC for last 10 years, your profile might be in a second list, not in a first list. Okay. Though you have a lot of experience and may not be able to get a calls. S4HANA is one of the mandatory thing nowadays for you to sustain. Now, as there is a lot of demand, why there is a lot of demand? There are few thousands of companies who are using SAP. SAP, once they implement, it takes minimum 5 years for me to complete all the implementation, not less than 5 years. Beyond that, what I need to be aware, once I implement SAP to stabilize and everything, it might take another 1 or 2 years. Altogether, 5 to 10 years is what I'm investing on SAP. 10 years is a very long tenure, right? After 10 years, if I want to switch to another ERP system again, it is not so easy. In just like that, nobody can switch it in a month or in a year or two. For analysis and to make sure to test and confirm, can I switch to other system or not? It takes 1 year minimum 1 year. Depending on a business size, if it is a larger business like a Walmart, Reliance, or Adani's, or a Tata's, it takes more than 1 year to evaluate and confirm, can I switch from one ERP to other ERP? During that 1 year, they need to spend few millions of dollars to just to evaluate whether it is a good option for us to switch or not, which is unnecessary time and money both. You need to spend it. So nobody would want to waste their money again and again to switch from one ERP to other so easily. Okay. Now, those who are already using ECC are migrating to S4HANA. With that, there is a lot of demand in upcoming days. Of course, now it is already there. In future also, the demand is going to increase. There is a shortage of the skilled people or the right experienced people in S4HANA particularly, where we need to aware about S4HANA with Fury applications, which is one of the basic requirement. As and when we move into the cloud versions of SAP, you see a more of Fury applications. In on-premises, it is both GUI plus Fury, which we'll hear more about what is GUI, what is Fury in upcoming classes. We need to aware about both Fury and GUI. Only then you will be able to manage in any project. So what we will do, as there is a lot of demand, we also made this course that such a way that you can learn both S4HANA along with Fury application, and also you will learn about what are the differences between ECC and S4HANA, so that you will not struggle whenever you are in a project. You can easily understand how was it there in ECC. When you know S4HANA by default, ECC is just all about you need to know few things, how to check or what to check, where to check. Just a few transaction codes and few screens are different, but rest everything screens looks exactly the same. S4HANA anyway, it's advanced, which also comes with all the features, whatever was there in ECC. Some features has been removed in S4HANA because it has been upgraded. Some options you will not see in S4HANA, whatever was there in ECC. Those differences we'll understand very clearly so that you can understand and see that. Because the companies whoever is using ECC, you no need to work on ECC system. It's all about you need to know how to extract the data from ECC and view the data. If you are able to see the data in ECC, that's more than enough, because you are not going to do any configuration in ECC. All you are going to focus on is S4HANA system. That is what we are going to learn as well. With that, there is a lot of jobs as a consultant or an analyst, business analyst, consultant, leads, architects. There are a lot of roles in this. You will understand in upcoming classes the hierarchy in roles. If I'm a fresher, what role should I target? If I'm experienced, what role should I target? What level of knowledge should I gain it? All that we'll talk about in upcoming classes. And then what we will do is, like I mentioned, we are going to learn all the differences between ECC and S4HANA as well. Then you'll also focus more on to understand in our upcoming classes we'll begin with to understand the system landscape, how it looks like, what exactly the system landscape, and then we'll move on to the overall implementation project. Will cover one end-to-end implementation, how exactly the end-to-end implementations are worked, so that you will see the real-time feeling. Yes, this is how the real-time end-to-end implementation works. In your resume, if you have not mentioned at least one end-to-end implementation, trust me, you don't even get interview call. Your profiles will be in a lost list, not even a second list. It will be in a lost list. People are particularly looking nowadays minimum one end-to-end project. If you have more than one end-to-end, which is going to be an added advantage, make sure your profile contains minimum one end-to-end project. And also it should contain, maybe rollout is not so important, but yes, we need to know about rollout projects as well. Yes, we are going to cover rollout projects. And also we need to know the support projects, how to work on a support projects, which is one of the important things, which we will cover with the real-time scenarios. We'll pick up real-time issues and all the customization requirements. We'll pick up the business scenarios, customization requirements. I'll also share functional specification documents. Those who are attending SAP training for the first time, it's all new terminology for you. Don't worry. We are going to cover this multiple times in upcoming sessions where you will get used to later. For now, you just need to know what you see on the screen. That's more than enough if you can understand that. Implementation project, rollout, support projects, which we are going to cover. Okay. And also we'll cover about testing projects. One of the common requirement in any implementation and support projects, so not support, but implementation and rollout projects particularly, you see a lot of testings also happens. There will be a dedicated team of testing consultants who will take care of all the testing stuff, what happens. Here, when we are responsible to prepare our own test cases, testing is not a small or a simple job. Though people might say that it's very easy, you need to be an expert like the functional consultant, whoever has implemented it. You should know more so that you can test. If you want to test a certain functionality, you should know what is my original functionality, right? If the system is working as expected or not, you should know what is expected first of all. You need to test that. To test that, you need to prepare your own steps or the guidelines. That is called a test script. We call it as a test script. You need to prepare your own test script to test it. You need to write your test scripts and run the programs or test it and document all the results. We'll talk about it, the methodologies, what is the testing strategies, testing methodology, testing script, testing tools. I'll bring all practical, the real live tools into our class so that you can see what exactly they looks like. It's not just for a training that we are doing it. We'll bring the real-time scenarios, real-time tools so that you can see that. Okay. And then migration projects. One of the quite common projects you hear, the people, the companies, currently they are using ECC system. They are migrating to S/4HANA. How do I do this migration? What are the things that I should be aware about it? Now, currently my company is using, other than SAP, so far they're using Tally or Oracle or Microsoft Dynamics or some other system. They're using some small system. And now they wanted to migrate to S/4HANA. Can they migrate? Yes. Then how can I do it? What are the things I should be aware? All those things we'll discuss it so that you can easily manage whenever you get an opportunity to work in any of these projects, whether you get in migration project, testing project, support project, rollout, or implementation project. Any of these projects, you will be able to manage it. Okay. So then what we will do is, once you're done with that migration project, we'll talk more about your other planning, how to prepare, what are the things to be covered. So in our sessions, we are going to cover S/4HANA with Fiori applications, along with ECC, what we supposed to cover, right? Well, you should know the differences between both the systems. Then it will be easy for you to manage any project. Okay. So then as a next steps, how we will be proceeding further in upcoming classes. So this might have given you some high level overview about what we are going to cover, how it is going to be covered, as it is a weekend classes. As it's the first class or the first 1 or 2 weeks of classes, I will not go with a little longer stretch, but we'll try to restrict this timing for 1.5 hours or max 2 hours, first 1 or 2 weeks. Later, we will increase that time because as we are meeting only on a weekends, if I spend only 1 hour, it is very difficult for us to cover a quick manner. Otherwise, it will become a lot of backlog. It takes a very long time for you to cover the content because our training will happen minimum 100 to 120 hours or 150 hours as well. For that, I would recommend, yes, I'm going to cover Kiran. Yes, I'll come back to that. We will make it 3 hours on an average, 2.5 to 3 hours on average Saturday, and similar thing for a Sunday as well. So that in a week, 6 to 7 hours is what my plan to cover. So that will be And on average, we are covering 1 hour each day, right? If you take 1 hour each day for 7 days, you cover 7 hours. The same thing will cover in 2 days. I understand it's a little longer stretch. Of course, when we made ourselves to transition from one to other, this is the best thing that we can do it. Put that effort. I trust me, you never feel that bored, though it is a longer sessions. You feel more interactive, like I mentioned. We'll talk about it. We'll show you practically how things work. You never realize that all 3 hours is already okay. We'll make our sessions more engaging, such a okay. So for you to receive the next week class communications, like I mentioned, make sure we'll share all the communication only with the registered participants. Please check your registered email in case you have given a wrong email ID or a wrong mobile numbers. Then you reach out to me on the number that you see on the screen so that we can help you with the further information in case you are missing any communication about it. Okay. So don't miss any communication. If you try to ask me for the class link or anything every day on this number, that will be difficult. But you can expect our links before class begins through email and also through WhatsApp. You will also receive it. Okay. Okay, so your point is noted, Sada. Maybe I see you are working 6 days a week. Let's see how best you can manage it. Maybe if you are working on a Saturday, try to see how best it works for you. In case you wanted to talk to me on one-on-one, you can call on this number later so that we can discuss and see the plan, how to manage it. Okay, so then you can attend some more classes. Let's say from tomorrow, we are going to start the real concepts. It's not like a introduction or it's not like a demo. It's a real classes will start from tomorrow. So those who are interested, they can continue from tomorrow, the same time like we mentioned. We'll start with the first class tomorrow. Consider this as a kind of a demo in case you wanted to, but don't worry about making payment right away. You can attend 4 more classes, which means 1 more complete week. After that, you will get total some more 4 more classes you get to attend and see, which means like until, let's say, let me check the calendar until when. So Sunday 9th will become a first class, and the 15th, 16th, and 22nd, 23rd. Until 23rd, you can attend free classes. Only then you can decide to continue or not. Until then, I will not even ask you guys to make a payment or enrollments. Only thing I would ask you to register so that I can send a communication only. Somebody who is interested and continue after 29th, from 29th, in case you wanted to attend, then we will ask you for a registration. Until then, you can attend classes, the regular classes. It's not a demos. It's a same classes we are going to provide. Okay, then it will give you some fair idea whether the platform is a correct platform or not for you to take it further. I'm offering this free classes, first free classes, because nobody should feel regret later, or unnecessarily I paid because it is not suiting me as per my requirement. It can be anything, right? So doesn't mean that I might claim myself as I'm teaching very well, but that may or may not suits your pattern or your style, what you are expect. That's a fair. That's still okay, right? For that, you can decide if you attend without miss for next 4 classes, you will be able to judge and see whether it is a nice forum or a right choice for you to continue or not. Okay, coming back to the remaining details. Yes, the server included or not included, how is the fees and everything. I'm going to cover that portion as well. Yes, the fees we are charging is at 25,000 is what we are charging. So those who make as a one-time payment, they will also get 3 months of S/4HANA along with Fury application server access for 3 months within that same 25,000, no additional charges. Those who say that I already have a server, I don't want to take a server, I have it elsewhere. Yes, you can take it, but we are providing this as a complimentary within this fees, and we will not be able to reduce anything in that. Okay. In case somebody who cannot make as a one-time payment, they can also go for installment, where they can get until 15th of December, they get a overall time, right? So until before 15th of December, if you are going to make a payment, you will consider as an installment, which is like a 15,000 plus 15,000, which will become total 30,000 for you, the overall fee. In both the options, we'll cover S/4HANA server by default. But the server, though it is a complementary, which is one of the best server, which will cover after 3 months. If you want, maybe we'll negotiate the cost with the vendor as well. Currently, they are giving us at a 2,500 for a 3 months period. Okay, 1 month they are charging like 1,000 rupees. For a 3 months, they give it for a 2,500. There are other vendors who are providing for 2,000, 1,500 as well. But I have seen the quality of those servers. Literally, they are not good. Whenever there is a problem, you call them, they don't respond on time. They take 1 week, 10 days. There is a one server I had given to one of the batches. This, unfortunately, I had taken only 2 IDs from this guy. It's been 1 month now. He's not able to fix it. It's not that they can't fix it. Maybe the practices what they are doing is not good. Okay, so that's the reason somebody who is offering at a low price, maybe go with the trusted sources so that you will get a responses. Otherwise, whatever the money that you are paying, though it is a small money, it's not worth. If they are not responding on time, you are practicing and the server is not working for a 1 week, there is no point that you pay less money, right? So that's what I would recommend. So somebody who is looking for a fast track, I think I wanted to understand a little more. Maybe you can connect with me, Jitendra, one-on-one, so that we can talk more about it, how exactly we wanted to cover, how soon you wanted to cover. We'll plan for that. So there is alternative option how you can cover. But in this batch, you will not be able to go with a fast track because this batch will take approx 3 to 4 months of time. Though it's a weekend, like I mentioned, minimum 120 hours is what an average will cover. So for that, please allow 3 to 4 months of time. So somebody who is looking for a fast track or a different plan, talk to me separately so that I have a different plans so that we can accommodate. Okay. So that's a quick introduction about our batch, how it is going to be. Now I'll open this forum for you to ask any questions. If somebody wanted to unmute and ask any questions or whatever you guys wanted to clarify. Anybody has any questions that you wanted to know? Anything that is unanswered so far about the course structure, the timings,